Welcome everyone to Boucher Field for men's soccer action, as it's the Thomas College men's soccer team with a record of 2-3 taking on the Husson men's soccer team with a record of 2-2. I'm Isaac Potter alongside John Ray for the Husson men's team's first home game on the season. John, how's it going?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, not too bad, not too bad. It's a busy day for Husson Athletics. The football team playing as of right now against SUNY Alfred State, and then the Eagles playing the Thomas College Terriers. We're going to switch it over to Becky Bubar for the starting lineups.
In goal, number 98, Jace Nielsen. First year from Holvik in Sweden. Number 4, Isak Granderstorm. First year from Nordbrand, Netherlands. First year, number 8, Mickey Woodrow. Sophomore from Devonshire, Bermuda. Number 10, Joshua Joseph. Junior from Oakland, Maine. Number 11, Hunter Smith. First year from Noord-Holland, Netherlands. Number 14, Ulan Zijdervaart. First year from Brazil. Number 17, Gabriel Fortuna. Senior from Gorham, Maine. Number 19, Cooper Lyons. First year from Warwick, Bermuda. Number 20, Cody Robinson. A senior from Yarmouth, Maine. Number 23, Eric Labrie. And a first year from York, England. At number 25, Harry Clow. Terriers under the direction of Kyle Fletcher, Jim Evans, and Carl Schroeder. And now, your Husson University Eagles. In goal, a sophomore from Lucerne, Switzerland. Number 1, Alex Rechsteiner. Sophomore from Madrid, Spain. Number 3, Pablo Maroto. Sophomore from Madrid, Spain. Number 4, Pedro Molina. Junior from Concord, New Hampshire. Number 6, Mosi Masemengo. Sophomore from Madrid, Spain. Number 9, Mario Alvarez. Sophomore from Madrid, Spain. Number 11, Alejandro Mora. Senior from Dedham, Massachusetts. Number 20, Ben Shumway. A freshman from Caracas, Venezuela. Number 21, Carlos Echervez. Sophomore from Iceland, Arnie Heridason. Senior from Barcelona, Spain. Number 26, Gerard Arias. And a sophomore from Switzerland, number 30, Florian Gasser. Eagles are coached by Gavin Penny, assisted by Jeremy Rollins, Stephen Bereni, Alice Caballero, Matt Goodman, and Carlos Bermudez. Fans, at this time, we ask that you please rise and honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
And that was the starting lineups along with the playing of the national anthem. And we are right about to get underway here. John, what is going to be key for Husson if they want to come out with this victory here today?
I think just sticking to their game plan. They're looking to line up with a 4-1 formation and just sticking with their game plan, just using the players they have on the field and just trying to get forward as much as possible and attack the Terriers early on in the game.
Yes, and they're coming off a loss against Bates on September 14th. They lost to them 3-0, and kind of looking over at this Thomas College Terrier squad, they're a really young team as there's one grad student, 3 seniors, 1 junior, 9 sophomores, and 18, yes, 18 first-year students. So definitely a very young team we see on the other side.
Yeah, they look to be building for the future.
As last year, Husson was the #1 seed in the NAC East playoffs, and then the Thomas Terriers were the 2nd seed in the NAC East playoffs. So we should always be in for a very entertaining game. Obviously, there's always a rivalry between Thomas College and Husson, so it should be a really entertaining game on our hands here. The Terriers are coming off a loss against Amherst College, who's one of the best teams in the nation in terms of the Division III soccer. They came off a 10-0 loss to them, so I'm sure they'll be looking to try to bounce back. Both of these teams trying to bounce back and try to pick up another win. So once again, quickly going down through the starting lineups here first for Thomas, it's going to be number 98, Jace Nielsen in goal today. Number 4, Isak Grandstorm. Number 8, Mickey Woodrow. Number 10, Joshua Joseph. Number 11, Hunter Smith. Number 15, Logan Rockwood. Number 17, Gabriel Fortuna. Number 19, Cooper Loins. Number 20, Cody Robinson. Number 23, Eric Labrie. Number 5, Harry Leclau. And for Husson, it's going to be number 1, Alex Rexsteiner in goal today. Number 3, Pablo Morato. Number 4, Pedro Molina. Number 6, Mosi Masimango. Number 9, Mario Alvarez. Number 11, Alejandro Mora. Number 20, Ben Shumway. Number 21, Carlos Echeverse. Number 24, Arnie Herriderson. Number 26, Gerard Arias. And number 30, Florian Gasser. And just like that, we're getting underway here as the ball will be. Husson starts off with possession here in this game. Pedro Molina now will bring it up here for the Eagles.
And watch out for Molina. He really likes to dribble the ball up the field a lot and try and create something.
Yeah, Pedro Molina, a sophomore defenseman, does a lot of good things for this Husson team. As the ball will happen to go out of bounds there, goes over to the Terriers. Loins will have that throw in there, but we'll give it right back over to the Eagles. The Eagles will look to be very patient here in this offensive stretch. Ball will be moved up over to Morato. A little bit windy out here today, but it's still good weather out. Not as hot as it was last weekend with the 90-degree weather. Ball will be kicked down the field over to Arias. Tries to give a pass over to Mora, but wasn't able to connect. As it looks like there, Husson will get a tripping call as that was Carlos Echeverse getting in there, the freshman. It's going to be number 3, Pablo Morato, going to take this kick here. Husson with a chance to possibly score here in the early going. So Eagles players lining up here. It looks like here number 9, Mario Alvarez, is going to be on the far right side. And a shot there. And then just like that, a goal already on the board there from Alejandro Mora, who responds after the nice save there from Nielsen.
And as I was saying before, Husson wants to get on the board early here, and they did, only a few minutes in.
I believe that might have been not even, I think, a minute. I think it might have been just a little bit over a minute into this game, and the Eagles already on the board here. Definitely off to a great start. So we'll try to get a quick replay of that play there. Actually, we won't. Just kidding. And just like that, the Terriers are once again
That's a goal by number 11,
on the way.
Mora from number 3, Pablo Morato.
The assist will go to Pablo Morato.
And just look at the intensity that Husson is playing with. They brought a lot of energy out here today.
Absolutely. and didn't take no time to score the first goal of the home opener for the men's team. The women's team had their first home opener a few weeks ago against University of Maine of Fort Kent. They'll also be in action after this game, taking on the Thomas Terriers as well. As the ball will go out of bounds, over to Thomas. Loynes will try to make a throw over, but the Eagles defender was able to get the ball back. Masimango kicks it up to Mora, who scored the first goal of the game here. Gives it over to Maroto, who sends it down the field over to Heriderson. And, very dangerous play there, but Nielsen was able to make the save.
That's a great run by Heriderson there.
Yeah, absolutely. Just looked like he just wasn't able to get a good kick off his foot there. But the Eagles once again right back into action. Actually, it will be a turnover going back over to the Terriers. Robinson bringing it up for the Terriers. Kicks it down the field to Clow. As the ball will go out of bounds, still remaining with the Terriers here. Clow will take in the throw. He tries to give it over to Smith, but wasn't able to get it to him. The ball will be converted back over to center field, over to Grandstorm. And the Eagles forced a turnover.
As we hear Gavin Penny saying there, move the ball, and that's what Husson's doing very well so far.
Yeah, definitely. They've been really patient so far here. They've been able to fill the lanes, as you've been seeing up this play here. As we see Shumway bring it up here, gives it over to Mora, who just scored the goal earlier. Tried to give it over to Heriderson. Was not able to get it over to him. The ball will happen to go out of bounds. Will stay with Husson here. So we see number 26, Gerard Arias, is going to take in the throw-in. It looks like he'll redo that throw-in once again. Arias gives it over to Heriderson. As it looks like there was number 19, Cooper Loynes, tripping on that play, and the ball will once again go out of bounds to the Eagles. Mosi Masimango tried to kick it there, but the ball will go out of bounds. Still remaining with the Eagles here. But yeah, definitely like you mentioned, John, the Husson has just came out with a lot of energy so far in this game. Ball will kicked over to Zunenvart.
Great recovery there by Maroto. Molina stepped up and Maroto stepped back to fill in that space.
Yeah, so far the Terriers have had difficulties trying to get up the field. Husson's defenders has really made it difficult on them. That's Shumway, give it over to Masimango. Over to Pedro Molina, who will bring it up. He will kick it down the field. Nice pass there to Maroto. He will cross it over, try to give it over to Mora, but it'll be kicked out of bounds by a Thomas defender.
And watch out for Maroto. He likes to make those overlapping runs a lot, and he gets behind the defense.
He seems like a very quick wing player as well for the Eagles. He's also a sophomore. It's a big part of their team last year, returning once again for another season. Eagles continuing to be patient here on offense. The ball will go over to Shumway. Get over to Alvarez. Finds Heriderson. Heriderson looking to make a move. Tries to take a shot, but that'll be blocked away there by Grandstorm. The Eagles continue just to be aggressive here on the offensive and defensive end. As that ball will go out of bounds. Over to Thomas. Loins will take in the throw in here for the Terriers.
And look how high up the field that Husson is pressing them right now. This is why they have the tempo.
Oh, absolutely. I see mostly 2 guys in the back and then all the rest of the players right up in front, just making it difficult for Thomas. So far, the Terriers haven't been able to really get down the field and get a good look in terms of a shot on goal here so far. So Labrie here. So the ball is kicked up in the air. Zunavart tries to make a pass there, but it's going to be taken away by the Eagles as we see Gasser. Florian Gasser, the sophomore midfielder from Switzerland. Ball will come in to Fortuna. Tries to make a pass down, and that's going to be kicked away there. See Alejandro Mora. Gives it over to Shumway. Eagles continuing to move the ball well here so far. Continuing to be patient. The Eagles also started off the year with a preseason trip going to Portugal for some team bonding and also playing against some teams that they're not really familiar of seeing. So they definitely have had they may have only played 4 games so far in the season, but they definitely have played, a few more with the preseasons. And, you could definitely see the team chemistry so far showing off here.
That's always the difficulty when you bring in a bunch of internationals, is trying to get the team to click, but it looks like they've clicked so far.
Masimango tries to get a pass over to Molina, just barely misses. And the Eagles almost had a chance there to score 2-0 on that play. Ball will come in here to Fortuna. Gives it over to Smith. So he tries to kick it down the field there.
If I'm Thomas College here, I want to press on the Husson defense because the 2 center backs, Shumway and Molina, are very comfortable with the ball at their feet. So you want to try and take away that comfortability, at least a little bit if I'm Thomas College. Because if you see Thomas College, they're just kind of sitting here letting Husson do what they want with the ball.
Right. Yeah, the Eagles definitely, like you mentioned, the defense really has just been very relaxed here so far. As, the Terriers defense hasn't really been, right up in their face trying to, force a turnover. So it's going to be number 26, Arias, taking the throw in here. He will give it over to Mora. As Alvarez will kick it over to his teammate, Pedro Molina.
And he loves these situations. Just bring the ball up and have the, the fate of the game's in his hands at that point.
As it looks like that was Echeverse trying to take a shot on goal there, but just happens to go a little bit right, goes out of bounds. Echeverse forces the turnover here, tries to give it over to Mora. The ball will go out of bounds, going back over to the Terriers. Masimango will head that one out of bounds. There's the throw in here as the Eagles once again force a turnover here. So we see Gasser over to Moroto. Molina gives it over to Shumway. As the ball is kicked down the field, tries to give it down to Arias, but just a little bit too much for him to handle. So you see Jace Nielsen going to take the kick here. He'll give it over to his teammate, Isak Grandstorm. Ball will go over to Robinson. He tries to kick it down the field over to Joseph. Another turnover there by the Eagles. Here's Gasser. Gives it to Heriderson. And it looks like the ball will go out of bounds, and it'll look like it'll be a corner kick for the Eagles. As we see number 11, Alejandro Mora, going to be taking this corner kick here. In case you missed it earlier, Mora scored the first goal of the game here. The Eagles will have a chance to try to make it 2-0 here. Mora kicks it over to Shumway. Shumway tries to head it in, no good. Stopped away there by Nielsen. Alvarez will kick it up. Falls into Gasser. And the possession will still remain with the Eagles here. Maroto makes some nice moves. Gives it over to Gasser. Tries to cross it to Hryderson. Alvarez wasn't there to convert there. See Loins will kick it out of bounds there. And the Eagles just continuing their strong attack here on the Terriers. It's going to be number 26, Gerard Arias, the senior defenseman, going to get ready to make a throw in here. Gives it in to Loins. Masimango. Ball will be given over to Woodrow. A nice play by Alvarez to steal the ball away from him. And a trip there by Woodrow will give Gasser a little free kick here.
And just look at Maroto again, another overlapping run, and he's about to play across.
Maroto tries to give a crossover to Ari Ryderson. Alvarez tries to kick one, but that will go into the parking lot there. As we're right about getting ready for about 30 minutes left to play in the first half. Pass will be made over to Grand Storm here. Terriers looking to try to get up the field here. Zunevart gives it back over to Grand Storm. He'll give it over to Nielsen. Nielsen will boot that one over to Clow. A nice pass up the field over to Joseph. Joseph tries to get up the field, and it looks like he's going to be tripped there.
That's going to be a card, I believe.
It looks like it'll probably go on Pedro Molina. It looks like the referees are going to get together to talk about this one. Yeah, possibly could be a card there, as Joseph was trying to get down and try to possibly get a cross or a shot off, and Pedro Molina ended up tripping there. The referee will come over here, and it looks like he will give a card over to Pedro Molina.
Tactical foul there from Molina. He knew the other player was in on goal, and he just tried to take him down before he got into the box.
And it looks like the Terriers here will have a good chance to try to get their first good look on goal here. As we see Woodrow and Zudevart possibly getting ready for this kick here. And I think it will be Woodrow getting ready here. Zunevart tries to give it over to Labrie. A nice defense there by Masimango. And the Eagles come away with it. Molina will kick it down the field to Ryderson. Masimango making some nice moves there, and the ball will come away to Gasser. Mora making some nice moves. Let's get be kicked away there by Loins. Zudenvart still staying with it, but Masimango takes it away from him.
Just that relentless pressure in the Husson midfield.
Definitely Thomas has had his difficulties as Husson's just been absolutely just swarming on the defensive end and just attacking them on the offensive end. It'll look like it will be Mario Alvarez taking the kick there as he might have been hit in the face there. Alvarez. The Eagles will look to line up and play here, trying to extend their lead here. And that'll just be a little bit too much, and that'll go out of bounds, going back over to Thomas. 28-17 left to play here in this first half. Eagles off to a 1-0 lead thanks to a early goal by Alejandro Mora. This ball will be taken away there by the Eagles. Molina gives it over to Gasser. Sends it down the field to Moroto. Ball will be kicked over to Arias. But it can be taken away by the Terriers as Loins comes out with it. He tries to give it down the field over to Smith. Ball will go out of bounds. Going back over to the Terriers.
It looks like Thomas is becoming more comfortable with the pressure that Husson is giving them.
They're definitely trying. I think they're getting a little bit more settled in now. Terriers continue, picked it up defensively, has made it a little bit more difficult for the Eagles here, getting some shots. Ball will go out of bounds, still remaining with the Terriers. It's going to be Loins with the throw in here. He tries to give it over to Clow. Ball will be over to Joseph. Tries to give a pass over, but taken away by the Eagles, but will still remain with the Terriers. Zudavart tries to give it over to Woodrow. Was not able to get it to him. And here's Mora. Mora using his speed. He'll slow down. Give it over to Echeverse. Echeverse over to Mora. Mora gives it over to Alvarez. They both trip, but the Terriers turn the ball over. Give it over to Molina. As Molina tried to give it over to Moroto, and it was just too much for him to handle.
As Thomas is starting to slow down Husson here.
Definitely, Eagles' energy has came out. They came out strong in the first few minutes, but definitely have started to slow down here, and the Terriers have picked up their defensive pressure on the Eagles. As it's Gasser here. Could be kicked away there by Clow. Masimango gives it over Shumway. Shumway over to Mora. Mora gives it over, tried to give it over to Arias, and that'll be too much. The ball will go once again back over to Thomas. It'll be Jace Nielsen, the junior goalkeeper from Kittery, Maine, will kick it away, give it over to Grand Storm. Ryderson over to Masimango. Eagles looking to be patient here on the offensive end. Moroto making a move, being guarded by Joseph. And it looks like the ball will be tipped out of bounds. Still will go back over to Thomas. So far here, Husson leading the shots 7-0, and then shots on goal 3-0. Thomas still looking to try to get that first look. Zudervart kicks it down the field to Clow. Clow still tries to save it in, but will not do so. Pedro Molina come away with it, gives it over to Masimango. Gives it back over to Molina. Kick it over to Shumway. Shumway kicks it down the field to Arias. But it will be Nielsen rushing over there and is able to pick it up. Nielsen will kick it down the field, down to Hunter Smith. Ball will go over to Rex Steiner, and he'll just easily take care of that one.
Husson being patient here.
Continuing to be patient, using a lot of good ball movement here. Gasser tries to give it over to Ryderson. Nice move there by Joseph. And he's going to be tripped up there by Gasser. Zudenbart here will take the kick here for the Thomas Terriers. The next game for the Terriers, they're going to be going on September 21st. They're going to be playing New England College. A nice play down the field as Rex Steiner looked like he tripped Joseph there, but there will be no call on that. The ball will remain with the Eagles. Terriers bench looking for a call there, but will not able to get one. Shumway over to Alvarez. Masimango. Give it over to Rex Steiner, sophomore goalkeeper from Switzerland. Will be kicked up in the air by Clow. A trip there by Clow and Masimango. Echeverse gives it over to Alvarez. Mora tries to get that one, but it'll be picked up there by Nielsen. Jakes Nielsen will slow it down here, look to try to get Terriers up the field. We'll boot it down over to Fortuna. Zudervart gives it over to Loins. And Loins will kick it down the field, tries to give it over to Smith. Rex Steiner able to kick that one away. Alvarez will give it back over to defenseman Pedro Molina. To Gasser. Gasser. Seem here like the refs are really letting both sides play here.
Well, it's a rivalry game. You have to, you know.
Absolutely, definitely is. You gotta love the rivalry for sure. Gasser tries to get up the field, but it looks like he'll be tripped up there.
And that could be a yellow card.
He was tripped there by Harry Clow. As Mora and Gasser are trying to look for an explanation there. I think they might be trying to look for a card here, but it looks like they'll not give it to him. Harry Clow, number 25 for Thomas from York, England. As it's going to be Gasser, and it's either going to be Gasser or Alvarez that's going to be taking in the kick here. But it looks like it will be Gasser. Gasser kicks it down, and it'll go right into the hands of Nielsen. And he makes another save. Here's Labrie. Tries to rush up the field, but taken away by the Eagles. Grand Storm over to Loins. Mora. Ooh, with some nice shifty ball handling there. Would be taken away there. Be kicked out there by the Terriers. Molina kicks it over to Moroto. tried to make a little move there. Definitely a good crowd we see out in the field there for the Husson Eagles soccer action. Alvarez tries to give it to Ryderson, but a little bit too much for him to handle. Nielsen kicks it down the field. Could be headed away by Masimango. Ryderson tried to break free from Robinson. Be taken away by the Eagles. Gasser gives it over to Echeverse. Could be tripped there by Joseph. The ball will go out of bounds, and it will be a corner kick for the Eagles. This will be the second corner kick of the game here for the Husson Eagles. 18:03 left to play in this first half. Gasser kicks the corner. It'll be tipped up in the air. And the ball will be going back over to the Terriers.
I'd like an explanation on that one.
Yeah, it looks like the Eagles coaches were trying to argue, saying it went off a Thomas player, but it'll look like it'll be Arias taking the ball away here. Arias tries to give a kick, and it looks like there he'll be tripped up there by Labrie.
This game is heating up quick.
And it looks like there will be a card going on number 23, Eric Labrie here, after tripping up Arias.
It's a rivalry game. Probably won't be the last yellow card we see today.
Yes, there's already been one already given out to Pedro Molina, and now one over to Eric Labrie. It's just a little after the halfway mark of the first half.
This will be a great chance for the Eagles to double their lead.
Alvarez gives it over to Ryderson. Gonna be tipped away there, and it looks like Shumway was tripped up there, but no call was made. And it looks like the referees are going over to talk to Shumway and Robinson, as looks like a little trash talk going on. But yeah, definitely like you mentioned, with it being a rivalry, you know, both of these teams want to have the bragging rights, so. The ref continues to talk to Shumway here. We'll get back into action here. Zudavart bringing it up here. Over to Masimango. Masimango. It's nice dribbling skills there. We'll give it over to Molina here. Gasser to Echeverse. A nice pass over to Maroto. And the Eagles are trying to look for a trip here. And it will be a trip. No card will be awarded there. The ball will go into Gasser. Gasser over to Maroto. Gives it over to Gasser. But taken away there by Joseph. Zudavart will kick it right over to Alvarez. Pedro Molina comes away with it over to Masimango, being guarded by Woodrow.
He is such a composed individual.
Absolutely. He's definitely a very smart, heads-up IQ player, very relaxed. Doesn't seem like he's nervous or anything like that when he has the ball. Very patient. And that's a good player to have on Coach Penny's squad.
Especially in a position like central defensive midfield.
As it's going to be Mario Alvarez Kicks it down over to Molina. Molina tries to head it, but Nielsen will stop that one.
One thing I've noticed, I don't believe either team's had a substitution yet, as Thomas is
true.
looking to have one right now, but I don't believe any team's had a substitution.
I believe you are right, as well as the next dead ball there. It looks like it'll be number 5, Stephon Simmons for the Terriers. Will be checking into the game here, as Pedro Molina will trip up Joshua Joseph there. Joshua Joseph from Devonshire, Bermuda, excuse me. He's a sophomore forward. Simmons still waiting to check into the game here. So we're just about 13-15 left to play in the first half. Husson up 1-0. I'm Isaac Potter alongside John Ray here. Zudervart tries to give it over to Clow. It looks like a shot on goal there, but will go out of bounds back over to the Eagles. As it's going to be number 12, Carter Pelletier, checking into the game here along with number 5, Stephon Simmons.
Number 17, Gabriel Fatura. And number 12, Carter Pelletier for number 11, Hunter Smith.
Number 12, Carter Pelletier is a first-year player from Frenchville, Maine. He went to Wisdom High School. Very good high school soccer player in the state of Maine. Also played against him in basketball. Was a very good basketball player as well. Rex Steiner. Kick it over to Molina. He tries to give it down to Moroto, but will be a little bit too much there, as it's Robinson. Tries to give it over to Pelletier here. Alvarez over to Alvarez. Masimango give it over to Molina here. Molina continuing to be patient here. Gives it to Echeverse. Back over to Moroto. Over to Gasser. He'll give it over to Echeverse, who has a good chance to cross it. Tries to give it to Heriderson. Heriderson comes away with it. Tries to give a pass over. And that'll be kicked there by Simmons, as the ball will happen to go out of bounds. And looks like the Eagles will once again have a corner kick. Eagles looking to try to extend their lead here. Try to get some more momentum going into halftime here. Alvarez with the corner kick. Over to Heriderson. Masimango tries to head it in. He'll try to kick it. Ball will go out of bounds. And the Eagles will once again take a corner kick on the far left side. Gasser. Florian Gasser will be taking this corner kick now for the Eagles. As the referee going over to talk to some of the players there. So we see some shoving action going in there, and the ball will be headed out by Clow, and the Eagles will take another corner.
Well, third corner in a row. Let's hope third time's the charm.
Well, we'll see what happens. So that's normally what they say. So Gasser tries to kick it over to Mora, but the ball will hit the outside net there, and
3 strikes and you're out.
yep, that's would be a turnover going over to the Terriers. Grandstorm Over to Clow. Excuse me, that'll actually be Cody Robinson. Joseph making some nice moves here. Gives it over to Zudavart. A nice pass over to Loins here. Could be tipped out of bounds there by Mora. Pelletier tries to handle that one. This ball will go over to Moroto. Moroto gives it over to Molina. 8:31 left to play in the first half. Molina looking to try to make a move. Gives it to Moroto. He'll kick it down the field over to Mora. Grandstorm will kick that one out. Ryderson. Kick it out of bounds here. He's still remaining with the Eagles. Moroto will take the throw in here. Asimango.
Nice switch there.
Shumway will look to try to get something going here for the Eagles. Tries to kick it down to Arias. That'll be too much for him to handle. It's a turnover going back over to Thomas. Loins. Tipped away there by Mora. This ball will go out of bounds. Going back over to the Eagles here. Mora looking to make some moves. Gives it over to Alvarez. Mora to Alvarez. Ryderson tries to give it back over to Mora. Mora making some nice moves here. Looking to try to make a cross here. He loses the handle. Nice play by Masimango to keep it in. Echeverse gets up after almost losing it. Moroto tries to take a shot. Nielsen almost loses it there, but he was able to pick it up. As the ball will now go back over to the Terriers. Nielsen kicks it down. Over to Shumway. Mora with some shifting dribbling there. Tries to give it to Ryderson. Masimango will bring it back out here as the Eagles will look to be patient here. Molina gives a nice pass down to Moroto, but just a little bit too much. Ball going back over the Terriers. As we're going to see 3 subs here for the Terriers. It's going to be number 6, Mustafa Najim. Number 27, Shane Robinson. We're going to see number 13, Jonathan LeClaire, checking into the game. LeClaire is the lone grad student for the Terriers here. Alvarez. Over to Arias. Shumway gives it over to Molina. Molina to Gasser. Gasser gives it back over to Shumway. Getting close to 5 minutes left to play in the first half. Loins kicks it down the fields. Carter Pelletier tries to get that one, but not able to do so. Alvarez. Alvarez bringing it up here. Gives it over to Arias. Gives a nice pass over to Mora. Mora tries to make a little cross there, but the ball will be kicked out of bounds by Loins. Arias. Gives the pass over to Mora. Back over to Arias. Arias tries to make A little cross there, but it'll be kicked out of bounds by Zunavart.
Brian, what's the time? Tell me when it's 4:40.
It's going to be Mario Alvarez taking the corner kick here. Eagles so far have had lots of chances here on the corner kicks. Alvarez. And that's going to be tipped out.
And everybody was on the goal line there. I'm not sure if I've ever seen that.
Yeah, the only two players I saw not in there was Moroto and Arias.
Looked like a 4th and goal on a football field.
Yeah, definitely. Eagles looking to try to get something going here in this to end the first half here. Try to extend that lead, as that could be really huge, going into the next half with some momentum. Mora kicks it. Over. Heriderson tries to head it in, but it'll come away to Masimango. Masimango tries to kick it over. As it's Moroto with some nice dribbling skills there. Gives it over to Mora. It'll be kicked out there by Thomas. At traverse. And a kick there from Moroto, and that'll go into the parking lot across the street there.
Just didn't strike it right.
The Terriers' defense, though, has really, picked up since the beginning of that game. They have really started to settle in. They just kind of struggled trying to get up the field and try to get a look. As the ball will be kicked over to LeClaire. LeClaire try to get by Molina there, but he will lose it out of bounds. As it looks like the players are trying to argue and win off Molina, but will not change their mind there. As we see Simmons. And a nice pass there. Simmons is going to cross it, but it's going to go out of bounds back over the Eagles. But a good chance opportunity there by the Terriers. Just wasn't able to get a good foot on that one. Rex Steiner will give it over to Shumway. Shumway kicks it down the field to Heriderson. As Grand Storm still comes away with it. Masimango over to Gasser. To Echeverse. Back over to Masimango. Molina will take it away here. So we're just under a minute and a half left to play now in the first half. Eagles still holding on to a 1-0 lead. Shumway will let it go out of bounds. He'll give it over to Rex Steiner. Eagles looking here to try to get a goal here in the last minute. Heriderson comes away with it. Looking for some Husson winged players. He'll give it over to Gasser. Back over to Heriderson. Tries to cross it there, but Nielsen will make the stop once again. And Terriers will look to be patient here and try to get it into the second half just with a 1-0 lead. Loins here will take the throw in. Tries to give it to Pelletier. Gives it over to Gasser. Gasser to Moroto. Heriderson looking to make a move. 1 second left. And that is how the first half is going to end, as it's the Eagles who scored the first goal in the very early minutes of the game. And it will be the Eagles going in with an early 1-0 lead at halftime. So we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back for second half action right here on Husson Eagles on YouTube. Welcome back, everyone, to Boucher Field as we're getting ready for the start of the second half here, as it's Husson holding on to a 1-0 lead here in the early going. I'm Isaac Potter alongside with John Ray, as we're just right about to get underway for this second half. And John, what were some of your thoughts just from that first half here so far?
Well, Husson had a lot of great chances, and I think they just need to keep knocking on the door, because when you keep knocking on the door, it'll break.
Absolutely, and talking a little bit about some first half stats real quick, as it was Husson leading the shots 10-1, and then Husson led the shots on goal 5-0, and then Husson's also had 7 corner kicks so far. 1 yellow card has been awarded to both teams. It was Alejandro Mora who scored the early goal for the Eagles in the first half, just a little over 2 minutes into the game. And so far, the Eagles really have just been in control, but, one mistake here from the Eagles, the Terriers could tie it right back up.
And that's the danger of a 1-0 lead.
As the throw-in here will give it over to Shumway. We'll give it over to Pedro Molina. The Eagles also didn't even go to a single sub that first half. So all these players playing right now has played the entire game for Husson. As that's Clow we'll give it over to Grand Storm here. As that's Loins. We'll bring it up the left side of the fields. Loins will make the throw in down over to Labrie. This ball will go out of bounds, and it will be Rex Steiner going to kick it away here for the Eagles. Rex Steiner is one of the 4 goalkeepers that Husson has on their roster. Pedro Molina will bring it up here.
And Thomas is starting to press high now. They didn't do much of that in the first half.
Yeah, if you're Thomas here, you definitely want to try and, force that pressure here, because it seemed like Molina and Shumway or whatever, when they got the ball, they just had it, didn't have to worry about being pressured at all.
They had all the time and space they wanted.
As Molina gets talked to there by the referee, trying to look for a call there. As
another yellow card for Thomas.
I didn't see who they ended up awarding that to.
Zittervart, number 14.
Yep. At number 14, Julian Zuttervart from the Netherlands. He's one of the 18 first-year students on the team for Thomas. A team that, is going to have a really bright future if they have so many underclassmen. It could be a very dangerous team in a few years. Traverse gives it over to Alvarez. Going to be taken away there by Simmons. And it looks like it'll be Simmons going to be taking this little free kick here. As Simmons here will look to kick it off here. Kicks it down over to Joseph. Tries to head it, but ball will go out of bounds. Back over to the Eagles. As it's going to be Shumway here. Give it over to Rex Steiner. Gives it back over to Pedro Molina. Molina. Going to bring it up here. Taken away by Joseph. He'll give it down over to Hunter Smith. Tries to cross it over, but taken away by Masimango. Gasser with a nice pass over to Moroto. Over to Mora. Alvarez gives it to Arias. Tries to cross it over to Gasser, but it's going to be poked away there by Grandstorm. Joseph. Taken away there by Moroto. Moroto looking to try to make something going here. He'll trip and fall. No whistle there as Grandstorm comes away with it. Arias tries to take away from Woodrow. But Gasser comes away with it for the Eagles. Gives it to Molina. Masimango will give it over to Shumway. Sends it to Alvarez. Arias gives it back over to Mora. Tries to give it to Ryderson, but that's going to be poked away there from Labrie. Eric Labrie, a forward senior from Yarmouth, Maine. Gives it over to Mora. Gives it over to Alvarez. Alvarez tries to give it over to Arias, who tries to save it, but was not able to do so.
Husson just creating those passing triangles, and they've been finding space effortlessly.
It definitely was a good look there for the Eagles. Just a little bit was too much for Arias to be able to catch up to it. But definitely lots of good passing. Like you mentioned, the triangle passing. It's made it difficult here for the Terriers to be able to keep up. Mora. As Thomas bench asking for a stoppage of play, as it looks like it's going to be Joshua Joseph down for the Terriers. Looks like he seems to be dealing with a leg injury there. While they stop play there, we'll take a quick break as well, and we'll be right back on the Husson Eagles Sports Network. Welcome back here as Joshua Joseph was able to get up. And he'll be taken care of by the athletic trainer there. And it was number 27, Shane Robinson, who checked in the game for him. Moroto being pressured there by Shane Robinson. And the ball will go over to the Eagles here. Ryderson making some nice moves here, but will kick it out of bounds off of Robinson. As we're just about 38 minutes left to play here in this second half. Eagles still holding on to a 1-0 lead thanks to an early goal by Alejandro Mora. Shumway gives it over to Rex Steiner. Alvarez will come away with it. Ryderson and Grandstorm off to a foot race, but Grandstorm's going to come away with it. He'll give it over to Loins, who kicks it down the field over to Labrie. It'll be kicked out of bounds by Shumway. So the Terriers looking to try to rush up the field, try to get something going here. Alvarez will kick that one out of bounds, and this will be the Terriers' first corner kick here of the game.
And Husson is finally looking to bring in some subs.
Yeah, it looks like it'll be number 19, Trucio Regatas, checking into the game along, I believe it's number 22, Miguel Morales. Shane Robinson will take this corner kick. And Reckensteiner makes a nice save there. Even if, I believe it was Cody Robinson who kind of hit him in the back. So the Eagles happen to get away with that one. As it looks like here, it's going to be Alejandro Mora and Mario Alvarez checking out of the game here, getting a little breather. Those were the first Husson subs of the game here, as John mentioned. Molina will lose it, gives it over to Simmons. Simmons over to Woodrow. Tried to give a pass over to Fortuna. And here's Heriderson. Heriderson down over to Regatas. Heriderson back over to Regatas. Tries to make a cross there, but goes off of Robinson. Heriderson still staying in bounds. Tries to get a call there, but no whistle. So it's going to be Jace Nielsen coming out with it.
Strong link-up play up top from Husson.
Absolutely. And great work by Heriderson to still stay in bounds. Tried to get a whistle there, but was not able to do so. It's Grand Storm here. We'll turn the ball over, and Heriderson will save it from going out of bounds. Give it to Harris. Heriderson. He's over to Gasser, but it looks like he'll be tripped up there by Woodrow. Mickey Woodrow, the midfielder from the Netherlands. First-year player for this Thomas squad. Gasser will get ready to take this kick here. Could be a very good chance here for the Eagles to get something going. Gasser. That'll be a little bit too much there as he'll turn the ball over. Just under 34 minutes to play now in this game. Lots of time here for the Terriers to try to tie this one back up. And a turnover there as Morales, who just loses the handle of it. Molina will kick it up. So Ryderson and Fortuna will battle that one out. The ball will be kicked down the field over to goalkeeper Alex Recksteiner. He'll give it over to Ben Shumway. As a pass over to Masimango. Ryderson tries to get up the field, and it looks like it'll be a trip call there. As that was Eric Labrie tripping him up there. No card was awarded there. It's going to be number 1, Carlos Echeverse. Freshman from Venezuela. Going to be, it'll actually be Recksteiner. Steiner will give it over to Shumway. Echeverse. Gives it over to Heriderson. To Arias. Arias back. Arias looking to make a cross there to Morales, who tries to head it, but just goes a little bit too much to the left there. Ball go out of bounds, back over to the Terriers.
Such a simple but effective sequence there from Husson. They just played the way they faced, just played the pass the way they were facing, and they got a great chance there.
Absolutely. It's definitely one of their, I think, their best look that they've had so far here in this second half. Husson still has stayed in control of this game. Regatas gets a hold of one, but just happens to kick it a little bit too far right there. Like I was mentioning, you know, Husson has really been in control of this game, but, you know, just has not been able to find the back of the nets so far after that early goal in the beginning of the game. Morato to Regatas. Regatas takes a shot on goal! And what a beautiful shot there from number 19, Patricio Regatas. Wow.
That was a brilliant finish.
And he just recently took the last shot on goal there and went a little bit too far to the right there. And that time was just an absolute bullet there from him. And he was able to find the back of the net, and Husson now goes up 2-0. What a play, though.
Husson goal by number 19, Patricio Regatas. Unassisted.
As now there's about just getting close to about 30 minutes left to play here in this second half. Husson now holding on to a 2-0 lead. Regatas tries to give it over to Heriderson. Robinson. It's over to Shumway. Shumway. Look to be patient here.
That goal from Regatas could be a goal of the season contender.
Oh, absolutely. That was a bullet of a shot there. It just happened. It found the top left-hand side of the goal. Definitely a much-needed goal there for Husson, as they were struggling a little bit trying to find the back of the net. So the ball will be kicked out of bounds there by Echeverse. As now we're going to see a sub here from Thomas. It's going to be number 9, Carlo DiMucci, the first-year defender from Portland, Maine. He's going to give number 11, Hunter Smith, a break. Grandstorm gives it over to Labrie, and it looks like it'll be tripped up there from Arias. As it's Loins, will kick it over to Robinson. Robinson kicks it over to Molina. Morales tries to get a hold of it, but it'll be Gasser coming away with it. As he turns the ball over. As Robinson will kick it out of bounds, and it'll go back over to the Eagles here. Masimango going to be tripped up there by Simmons. Thought there for a second they were going to give him a card, but they are not going to. Molina will kick it down the field, and that'll be too much there for Morato to handle. Here Clow will take in the throw-in here for the Terriers. Masimango gives it over to Echeverse. And Heriderson will give it to Shumway. The Eagles will look to be patient, look to get some ball movement here.
Great composure by the back line of Husson there. And now they're on the break.
Molina will give it over to Morales. Gives over to Morato. To Gasser, and that's going to be a little bit behind Morales. We'll see Terry Clow once again taking in the throw in here. And we also saw a sub here for Thomas, as it looks like it's now number 30, Tim Worcester, checking into the game. Masi Mongo stays on his feet there. Tries to give it over to Regatas. I'll be kicked out of bounds there. Still remaining with the Eagles here. The Eagles will take their time taking in this throw-in, as having a 2-0 lead, right now time is really in your favor. You just want to be patient and try to get the best look you can.
No need to rush things.
Regatas will give it over to Urias. Gives a nice crossover. Tries to find Morales. Too much for him to handle. As it looks like number 15, Raphael Beckenbauer in the game. Molina will try to get a crossover, and that will go out of bounds. We're also now going to see number 14, Oscar Bernson, checking into the game here for the Eagles. He's a senior midfielder. Worcester will kick it down the field.
And number 14, Oscar Bernstein. For number 30, Florian Gasser.
Florian Gasser will get a break here. Played a lot. He played that whole first half, and so far about 20 minutes into this second half. Gets a much-deserved break there. Nielsen gives it over to Grand Storm. Tries to give it over to Fortuna. Ryderson will dribbling the ball here, looking to make a move. Gets past Fortuna. Gives it over to Echeverse. Taken away by the Terriers. Masi Mongo will let that one go out of bounds, and be Arias taking care of this one. And a trip there by Fortuna will stay with the Eagles here. Ryderson dribbling, looking to make a move here. Gets by his defender, gives a crossover. Echeverse takes a shot, just a little too far to the left there, but a good look there for the Eagles.
That would have sealed the game.
Echeverse, the freshman, taking the shot there on goal. Worcester kicks it down the field over to Molina. Molina. See Beckenbauer. Echeverse now will come away with it for the Eagles. Looks to be patient. Gives it over to Morales, to Masi Mongo. Ryderson looks to try to make a crossover there, but will go into the hands of Jace Nielsen. Tries to kick it down the field to Zudenvart. As it'll be Ryderson now. Looking to try to get by Grand Storm. Continue to be shifty here. Gives a pass over to Beckenbauer. Beckenbauer over to Masi Mongo. Back over to Molina. Molina kicks it down to Rexsteiner. Kick it over to Urias. Masimango.
And Thomas just hasn't even touched the ball in the last 5 minutes or so.
Yeah, they definitely have had difficulties trying to take it away here from the Eagles. Just the Eagles' ball movement has just been so
flawless.
Yeah, that's definitely a word to describe it. As we'll see now for the Terriers, it's going to be Mustafa Najim checking into the game, along with number 12, Carter Pelletier. He'll give number 8, Mickey Woodrow, and number 9, Carlo DiMucci a break. Zudervart, taken away by Heriderson. Esau Grandstorm will kick it down the field over to Clow. Clow being guarded by Morales, and taken away there by the Eagles. Echeverse. Kicked out of bounds there by Robinson, but will still remain with the Eagles. Beckenbauer will give it over to Bernson. Over to Heriderson. Heriderson over to Bernson once again. Gives it over to Urias. Over to Heriderson. Looking to make a move. Masimango. Urias tries to give it over to Morales. Worcester's going to head that one away. And Robinson will kick it out of bounds, and there'll be a throw in there for the Eagles. Echeverse. A kick over to Heriderson. Wasn't able to hang on to that one. Urias will still come away with it, but he'll just kick it out of bounds, and ball going over to the Terriers. We'll see number 22 now, Nicholas Garcia, checking into the game for Thomas. And for the Eagles, we'll also see number 34, Alex Bryant, checking into the game. Alex Bryant is a senior defenseman from Mount Ararat. Also went to Northern Vermont Linden. A NAC opponent, North Atlantic Conference opponent that Husson faces on the year. And Pedro Molina will check out of the game and gets a well-deserved round of applause from his teammates. As the Terriers will look to make a throw in here. They're down the field by Najim. Urias now will take the throw in to Heriderson. Gives it over to Grandstorm. Worcester. Look to kick it down the field. Tries to give it over to Robinson. Bryant's going to head that one away. Carter Pelletier trying to get that one. Zudervart wasn't able to get to that one in time. And that one will go back over to the Eagles.
Husson seems to be in cruise control this game.
Absolutely. They've really just been in control ever since the beginning of this game. You know, Thomas has just really struggled getting the ball up the field and just being able to get a good look offensively. But just Husson's defense has just been swarming, and the ball movement and the patience from Husson has really been showing off here in this game. The Eagles will be looking to try to make a run here in the North Atlantic Conference, looking to try to make a run for the title game. As it's now we're going to see number 25, Jared Bolton, along with number 39, Josh Netto checking into the game. We'll also see number 10, Joshua Joseph, who checked out earlier in the game due to an injury, and he's good to see him back on the field. Echeverse will get a break along with Heriderson. Ryderson. It's a much-deserved break as well. As we're now about 17:39 left to play here in the second half. And it looks like there's going to be a yellow card awarded to Regatas. And it looks like they gave it to him because he was a little bit too close to the ball when they were trying to get that little free kick off.
A goal and a yellow card, that's a heck of a stat line.
And he was a guy that, you know, came off the bench as well. So that'll be the second yellow card awarded to the Eagles there as Carter Pelletier comes away with it, looks to make a cross. So the ball will go out of bounds, and the Terriers will take a corner kick here. It looks like it's going to be number 6, Mustafa Najim, taking the corner kick. Giving over to Simmons. Najim tries to save it from going out of bounds. The ball will go out of bounds to the Eagles. Beckenbauer will throw it in here for the Eagles, but taken away by Robinson. And it looks like it will be a corner kick once again here for the Terriers. The Terriers looking to try to make this a 1-goal lead. They have struggled offensively all game, but looking to try to add some life back to this team. So that one will be too far over, and Clow will come away with it. Masi Mongo gives it down to Regatas. A good chance here for the Eagles. Regatas gives it over to Morales. Morales gives a pass over to Regatas. Regatas shoots, but just goes a little bit over the net. That would have been a 3-0 game if he found the back of the net.
Brilliant vision there by Miguel Morales.
Yeah, it definitely was great work there by the Eagles to get it up the field. Regatas gave it over to Morales, found Regatas once again, and just a little bit too far over the net there for him to handle. Morales gives it over to Burnson. Burnson. And that's going to be kicked out of bounds by Worcester. And the Eagles will have a chance here for a corner kick. As the Eagles here, this will be their 8th corner kick of the game. And it's going to be number 22, Miguel Morales, taking the corner. Morales takes a shot. Oh! And a goal there by number 25, Jared Bolton. Actually, it will actually be offsides there. The refs will come over to talk about this, but yeah, it will be called an offsides, but what a play there by Bolton.
Came out of nowhere.
Yeah, really. I mean, it looked like the ball was going to go out of bounds, and then Bolton just was right there to basically save it from going out of bounds. It was able to find the back of the net, but might have been offsides on that play there. Masi Mongo gives over to Morales. He will give it over to Rex Steiner. Gives it over to Alex Bryant. Bryant to Morales. Morales. Some shifting dribbling here to Burnson. To Beckenbauer. Beckenbauer tries to give one over to Regatas. Ball's tipped. It's going to be poked away there by a Thomas Terrier defender. And now it's number 22, Nicholas Garcia, coming away with it. Randstorm over 2 lines. And it looks like it's going to be a trip there by Arias there. It's number 19, Cooper Loins, will kick it down the fields. Robinson will slow down so he can stay on side there. Still stays on his feet, tries to cross it over, but it's going to be kicked away there by Shumway. As looks like it's going to be number 5. Stephon Simmons will possibly take this kick here, or number 27, Shane Robinson. Simmons will kick it. It's going to be, and it'll be Josh Neto coming away with it. Regattas. Eagles on the break here. Neto on the far right side, looking to try to cross it over. Gives it over to Bolton. Simmons gives it over to Beckenbauer, over to Masimango. Masimango over to Burnson, to Morales. Morales, nice move there. Gives over to Burnson. He tries to get a shot on goal, but that's going to be kicked away there by Garcia. Simmons. Over to Bolton. Definitely has been a physical game here. Rick Steiner will give it over to Arias. Tries to make a little trick play there. Gives it over to Shumway. And it looks like a yellow card is going to be awarded to number 5, Stephon Simmons. As we'll see number 29, Nate Chamberlain, checking in and giving Gerard Arias will check out of the game here. Nice game from him. So we're now 11:22 left to play here in this game. Husson holding on to a 2-0 lead. Quick update on Husson football action. It's currently tied up 17-17 against Alfred State with 3:39 left to play in the fourth quarter.
Husson just want to see this game out here.
Eagles looking to... There still is a little bit of time for the Terriers if they happen to, get, a goal here in the beginning, in these last, in the, like a next minute or two. So that was Simmons taking one to the face right there. That looked like hurt, but actually that was actually Joseph who got hit in the face there by the ball. This ball will be kicked up in the air. Morales comes away with it now for the Eagles. He'll give it over to Bernston. Kicks it down the field to Neto. Neto will have a chance here. Terriers defenders able to get back in time. And it looks like Grand Storm there was able to force the turnover. As Worcester will head this one over to Masimango. Gives it over to Morales, but probably tipped up in the air. Masimango Dribbling here, but the ball will be kicked out of bounds by Beckenbauer. It's now that was actually Cole Washburn with the throw in there. The ball will go out of bounds, and it'll be the Eagles making a throw in here. Beckenbauer. Kick it over to Grandstorm, gives it back over to Washburn. Washburn kicks it down the fields. But it's going to be taken away by Masimango, who ends up kicking that one out of bounds. 8:45 left to play in this game. As we're going to see a long throw in here by Worcester. As it's going to be Pelletier bumping into Bolton there. No card was awarded on that. Rex Steiner will kick it down the field. As Neto, actually there will be a foul on the play there by Neto. It's going to be Loins. Going to kick this one away here for Thomas. Bryant heads that one over to Masimango. And it looks like there is number 22, Nicholas Garcia, with a dangerous play there. Shumway will come away with it here. Shumway kicks it down the field, gives it to Arias. It's going to be Regatas. Dribbling here. Simmons. Pelletier comes away with it, gives it over to Washburn. Washburn. Robinson gives it back over to Simmons. Simmons thought about kicking it down the field, but tries to give it over to Garcia, but was not able to do so. Morales. Oh, a nice play by Robinson to keep it alive. Pelletier looking to make a move here. And it's going to be Rex Snyder. And a little bit of some pushing and shoving there from Joseph and Chamberlain, as the ref tells them to knock it off. Chamberlain gives it over to Bernston. As Chamberlain will kick this one out of bounds. It's Masimango. As it will be Chamberlain, or excuse me, that's Neto. Neto will give it over to his teammate Chamberlain as he'll make the throw in here. Quick update on Husson football. They were able to score a touchdown here with just under a minute to play. They are now up 23-17 over Alfred State with 53 seconds left to play here in the game. The Eagles, the Husson football team, looking to pick up their first win on the season. As it looks like here, we're going to see number 5, Kiko Sanchez, going to check into the game here for the Eagles. As looks like there will be a yellow card awarded to number 6, Mustafa Najim. And now Shumway will kick this one away. And a long shot there, but nice save there by Nielsen. He'll kick it down the field over to Beckenbauer.
Beckenbauer's won several headers, and he's only been in the game for a little while.
Definitely has made an impact here so far in the game since he's been in. Shumway will give it over to Neto. Give it over to Morales. Morales looking to try to get something going here. Make some nice moves. Tries to give it down to Beckenbauer, but it's going to be kicked out of bounds there by Cole Washburn. As now, number 5, Kiko Sanchez will check into the game for number 6, Masimango. Played almost the whole game today, so definitely a much needed break from him. Definitely it's just been a strong game here from the Eagles. As now it's going to be Beckenbauer with the throw in here. Gives it over to Bolton. Just under 4 minutes to play now in this game. Beckenbauer over to Morales. Morales. Gets it over to Beckenbauer. Beckenbauer's going to have a shot. Bryant will go off the goalpost. Regatas with it. He tries to get a shot off. Sanchez is going to get a shot off, but he'll end up kicking that a little bit too much. There's a smile on his face as he runs back. Worcester kicking down the field over to Bryant. Rex Steiner will kick it down. Morales will give it over to Beckenbauer. He's over to Bolton. Morales tried to get a hold of that one, but loses the ball there. Morales looking to make some moves. It's tripped up. Bolton coming away with it, using his strength. Gives it over to Shumway. Over to Neto. Neto. Ooh, nice move there from him. Simmons will kick that one down the fields. As is Bryant. Kicks it over to Bolton. Gives over to Beckenbauer. Just gave it to Simmons. And looks like there's a glove on the field there. Happens to be number 3, Connor McMahon's. I'll be kicked down the fields, as we'll see 29, Nate Chamberlain going to have a throw in here. Eagles will look to continue to take some time off the clock, as we're getting close to about a minute and a half left to play in the game. Rick Snyder over to Morales. To Beckenbauer. To Sanchez. Gives over to Burnson. As we'll see Chamberlain trying to kick it down the fields, but it's going to be taken away there by Worcester. It's Coach Penny tells him to Rex Snyder to pick it up, but decides to handle it instead. 1 minute to play now in this game, and it looks like Husson will move to 3-2 on the year, picking up their first home victory in their home opener. As it's going to be number 19, Cooper Loins, with the throw in here. Gives it over to Bryant. Simmons. It'll be Washburn. Gives it over to Worcester. Worcester kicks it down the field. Ball will be kicked up. 5 seconds left to play now. And that is how the game is going to end. As it's the Husson Eagles picking up a victory over the Thomas Terriers. 2-0. A goal from Alejandro Mora to start off the game. And a goal from number 19, Patricio Regatas, for the second goal. John, Husson really just had control of this from start to finish.
Yeah, it was Eagles start to finish. They stayed strong defensively and created a lot of chances up top, and were able to finish 2 times.
As Husson will now move to 3-2 on the season, and Thomas will fall to 2-4. The Husson men's soccer team, their next game, they'll be going to Gordon College on September 20th. And then they'll be back here on the 24th facing SUNY Delhi. Well, that's the end of the first game here. Stick around, folks, as me and John will once again be on the call for the Terriers and the Eagles women's soccer matchup in this next game, which will start in about half an hour. I'm Isaac Potter alongside John Ray. One last time, the final score, the Eagles Husson men's team winning 2-0. Stay tuned at 3:30 for the women's team action.